Well, the weather for the whole of the south of England will continue as it has for the next few weeks. It's going to be hot and moist, with temperatures rising steadily as time goes on. There's a chance of steamy moments as we move into the... sod it. We never wanted to do this. We never wanted to be weathermen and women making innuendos about hot atmospheres and drizzly countries. We didn't want to be child-friendly. We didn't want to bang on about being for over 18s only. We want to talk about our sexy adventures. We want to be lifestylers, leaping from bush to bush as we sail down the rivers of British sex clubs and mountains of crazy experiences. The cheeky purple mamba, the liquid silk pumped liberally into our hand, the rodeo classic brief harness complete with Tantus curve, the Enjoy Pure One stainless steel dildo, the hot octopus digit, the ever so short messages on Fab Swingers, the sexy friends on Twitter, and the mighty vanilla alternative. With my best girlie by my side, we'd swing, swing, swing.
Get in the gym or to your car. With our advice, you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes. And talk about our sexy dates. It's getting hard for this to rhyme. Just as well, 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to episode 107 of the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Mr. H. With me is...
Mrs. H.
Together we are...
Hot.
Yes, warm. And possibly we are Star Trek characters like Worf and Beverly Crusher.
Beverly Crusher, yes.
How nice. We're going to go into that in a bit.
Cool.
But before we get into today's main event...
Wait. Worf is going to go into Beverly Crusher.
Why not?
In a bit.
Yeah, in a bit. Yeah, that's definitely going to happen in a bit. Or maybe not, as we
Does
may
that ever
find
happen
out.
in a Star Trek episode?
Not that I remember.
Oh. All right.
That really would be Next Generation. Anyways, thank you for joining us today. We've got a bit of housekeeping to do before we get into the whole story, the main event. I've got a little bit Jeff Goldblum. Try them or not. The first thing I want to do is shout out a massive, massive thank you to the Diz Nerds.
Yes, of course. Although I'm now thinking about Jeff Goldblum. Sorry. Just give me a minute.
Reel it back in, Diz Nerds. Okay.
I'm thinking about a little bit of Jeff Goldblum.
So they recently came and stayed with us. I say recently, this is going back a fair few weeks ago
I know.
now. But we've been recording other things in the meantime. So we had a lovely, lovely weekend with them. They brought us presents. Very nice. Good skills, folks.
Yeah.
Much appreciated. We had some sexy times with them.
We played some Disney Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah, it was a lovely...
I was really bad at it.
Yeah, because you didn't know who any of the characters were.
Everything's Miley Cyrus.
No, it wasn't always Miley Cyrus.
Literally everything I had was Miley Cyrus.
It was like Jafar's bleeding anus occasionally and that sort of thing.
With Miley Cyrus.
With Miley Cyrus. Anyway, it was so lovely to see them and huge, massive shout out to them.
Mm.
So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Top work. Also, we've got some news.
Oh, yes, you do.
But before we go to that,
Yes. Yeah.
I want to say a massive thank you to all of the ladies what participated in the Vulva chat last week. Or the other week.
Yes.
Mrs. H did a very good job.
Oh, wait, what? You
Yeah.
said good things about me.
I'm saying very good
Can you
things
say them
about
again?
you.
Just
Mrs.
for
H
prosperity.
did a very good job.
This is music to my ears.
I know. Mostly because I was sat there observing
Fuck you.
and supervising. But, part of it she did by herself.
Oh, thank you so much. Part of it I did by myself.
Yeah, with the help of some incredible ladies.
I knew you couldn't give it all to me. No.
Well, no, as we'll find out in, 10 and a half minutes or something.
Wow. Okay, you went there. Cool.
I did go there. We'll go there in a minute as well. But,
you boldly went.
And thank you very much for everyone who got in touch as well about that particular episode. It was really great to see all the feedback, really great to see everyone joining in, everyone giving their comments about how they feel about their vulva and lady bits and lady gardens, all that great stuff. So that was really, really positive, and I'm really proud of my wife for what she did with that conversation.
Oh, this is lovely.
I know.
I'm going to take a moment to stop thinking about Jeff Goldblum and think about what you just said about me.
This is perfect, right?
And I'm going to think about Jeff Goldblum.
And now we have some news to announce, which is not Jeff Goldblum based.
I'm out.
You are.
Bye.
For that reason, I'm out.
It's been lovely.
So we've talked for ages and ages and ages about whether we try and make some money or try and recover our costs on this podcast.
Because we never make any money.
We don't make any money.
Not a penny.
No, we don't do an OnlyFans or anything like that. We've not had up until now.
I don't think your ego would cope with OnlyFans.
Well, that's true. I don't think I would. Because it would just be me and no one would ever pay to see that. So we are launching a brand new Patreon. Now, we know everyone in the world has got one, but we've talked about it for a long time, and we've done like 106, now 107 episodes.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd create some new stuff, put it on the Patreon. So there's going to be new hidden takes of different episodes, different versions. There's going to be a Discord chat, because who are you unless you've got a Discord chat?
Oh my God, you know how much I love a chat.
I know, I love them. So it's just another means
Bloody
for me
love
to
a
talk
chat,
to
mate.
people. And also really, if you like what we do, give you a chance to give us some cash for it, so that I can pay for new technical stuff that I can use to build more shows and stuff.
I see this as people really supporting you, because, let's face it, I don't do much.
Well, this is true. This is very true. But
apart from the last episode when I actually did something for once.
Well, you did. So, out of 2 episodes of 107, you have led those.
Wow.
I know. So the other thing that we're looking to do is have little Zooms with our Patreon subscribers or Patreons or patrons or whatever you want to call them.
Patrons.
Yeah, I know. It's very nice, isn't it? So if you want to have a look at that, and if you want to check it out, it's at patreon.com, and it's /bedhoppersuk or bedhoppers suck.
I mean, we still suck.
We
even
still
on Patreon.
suck. That's the thing. But, if you want to go there, have a look at us, give us some cash. There's only one tier. I'm not going to make this complicated. It's like a £5 a month or something like that.
No world's enough tears lately.
Well, we've all had enough tears. So if you like what we do or want more of us or want to...
You should have called it a New Frontier. Wait, Frontiers. Isn't that Star Trek related?
Yeah, I don't know where you're going with this.
I'm a bit hot.
Well, I know that. Everyone has confirmed that this is the case. But let's get on to the main event.
Oh, we'll get on it.
We're going to get on it. So now you're going to have to forgive us for this one, gentle listener, because this may come across as something of a self-indulgent humble brag.
That's because we are going to brag about it.
Because we are. We are coming to you hot, very literally, off the back of an amazing weekend. And we know that we talk a lot about our amazing weekends, and we know we talk about our amazing friends. But in this case, we really are going to do some of that.
It might get a little bit graphic.
It might get a little bit naughty. It might get a little bit saucy. You might think that Mr. H, what a prick, if you're not already thinking it. These are all things that could happen throughout the course of this episode. You might say, Mrs. H broke their rules. What the fuck was she thinking?
Hey, what now?
Yeah, exactly. These are all things that we're going to cover.
Yes. And I know I don't normally like to talk about really super sexy things in a very sexy way, because it's me.
So we're going to try and do it.
But I might break another rule and do that a little bit.
Okay, so let's throw some stuff at the thing and see what happens, right?
Like throwing spunk at a wall.
Spider-Manning, if you will.
Yes.
Thwip.
Yes.
Yes. So the first thing I want to do before we delve into this is that we were invited to a party.
Yes.
Not just any party.
No.
A party with, come on, you're going to give us some information?
Oh my God. Well, you've just been talking non-stop,
That's what I do.
You're earning your content.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so we were invited to a very nerdy, sexy Star Trek party. Is that right?
Yeah, so
Yes.
it was Clit Bang, if you've met her on Twitter and on the last episode.
Yeah.
Miss CBLT or whatever it is. I'll put it in the notes.
CBLT. That's like a bacon and tomato sandwich.
Oh, man, I could.
You can't rename a Clit Bang to BLT.
She's an avocado bacon sandwich now.
Oh. Yeah, Miss Clit Bang, or whatever she is on Twitter. And her lovely other half is celebrating her birthday.
Yes. So they were hosting a Star Trek murder mystery party and were inviting a bunch of naughty, sexy people from around the Twitterverse.
Yes.
That we know and they know to come along. And we fortunately got invited and then immediately thought, holy shit, this sounds amazing. We need to get some Star Trek costumes because we were all assigned a character.
Got to do it right.
Yeah, to do it right. Now I'm going to quickly whip through the people that were in attendance.
Yes, go for it.
Oh, you're right. You finished drinking now? You done that?
No, I'm going to carry on drinking all
Now,
the
let me just
food.
have a sip of whatever it is I'm having.
I did that very quietly, whereas you did not.
Delightful. So I'm just going to whip through the people that were invited to this event, just to give you some context, right?
Yeah, and they've all been very open on Twitter about attendance to this party.
Okay, so we're not outing anyone.
No,
we
wouldn't do that.
All right, and I'm also going to give away their Star Trek character in the murder mystery thing because that'd be fun. So you can picture us and them in costume if you like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cool.
So we had the delightful Clit Bang.
Yeah.
Who was Troy?
Yeah.
Deanna Troy.
Which was the best character.
It's
like she's the hottest character, but it's her birthday. She's allowed to be.
So given the fact their party, her other half, Sprite, picked Riker, right? Classic choice, great. Able to sit on chairs backwards, grow a beard.
Get rid of his
direct some
beard.
episodes later on. It was all fine. So he was invited because it was
Obviously.
their house, really.
Yeah, it would have been a bit weird not to.
We also had the delightful Secret Stag and Secret Vixen going to this party as well.
Who even are they? I don't know.
I don't know. We haven't talked about them before. But he pulled out Geordie LaForge
Yeah.
with his visor.
Yep.
And she pulled out Guinan, which was fabulous, as there was some explaining to do as to who Guinan was.
I mean, to her.
Well, yeah, but also, fair play to her. They made a fucking massive purple hat.
Which doubled up as a Lazy Susan, I think.
It did, yeah. It was ginormous. How she wore it throughout the course of the evening.
She didn't.
Well,
Kept falling off.
for a bit of time she did wear it.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Yeah, it was absolutely amazing.
It was a fantastic hat, great hat. So we also had Violent Besant, or Besant.
Violet, not violent.
Is it not violent?
It's Violet.
Oh, curses, I've got it wrong already.
Just call me Violet.
Just call me Violet. All right, okay.
It was me what named her Violet.
Ah, yes. And what nickname did you give her, dear?
I called her Violent Croissant.
No, I don't think she knows this, does she?
She does now.
So, yeah, you want to...
It was a wonderful...
moment of Mrs. H looking down her nose and going, who the hell is this person?
No, it wasn't.
I'm going to call her Violent Croissant.
No, because I give people nicknames because that's how I fondly remember them. Hence, Clit Bang.
All right.
Which, absolutely suits her because you've been clit banged.
Okay.
And Violent Croissant because, fuck me, she's terrifying. She's tall. Like, she's absolutely statuesque tall. Beautiful.
Quantify that. Yeah.
Beautiful, gorgeous woman. But looks like she's about 9 foot tall.
Which since we are the size of hobbits.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly. I was a little bit daunted at meeting her because I thought, yeah, she's going to totally overpower me.
Well, and it's fair to say that we've met the first 4 people on this list. So Sprite, Clit Bangs, Stag and Vixen, we know. But we haven't met Croissant. Also known as, I think it's Boxwana Troy she was, or Luxwana, I can't remember which way round it is. But she was Troy's mum, I believe.
Ah, yes. I was trying to work out. She basically just did all the awesome kind of reading and it wasn't admin.
She was admin.
Star Trek admin.
Take this down for me.
Yeah, we did.
So, all right. Then we had Slutty Pants.
Ah, yes.
The Miss Slutty Pants, is it?
Little Miss... Oh, wait, no. Miss Slutty Pants.
Yeah.
You are correct.
We've clearly prepared a lot for this.
No, I just get very mixed up with all these Twitter handles.
And who was she?
I don't know.
Ensign Rowe, there we go.
I was going to say Poe, but that's a Teletubby, isn't it?
Yeah, and also someone off Star Wars.
Oh, right. You tell me who Ensign Rowe is, because I don't know.
It's just a person in Star Trek.
Wow.
There.
Way to devalue her character.
Well, I think she's...
You are just a person.
A Bajoran, I think, like one of the refugee type people.
Oh.
Okay.
I have no idea who
quite a sort of...
I mean, she looked sensational.
Like an action character.
She looked sensational.
Yeah, she had a teeny, tiny... I think it was a Star Trek shirt, but it may have been a dress. I'm not sure which, but it looked amazing because it just didn't cover anything.
I mean, that was one of the best features, frankly.
Yeah, that's my favourite bit of Star Trek costuming. And then Mr. Slutty Pants, I guess we're going to call him.
Yeah, let's call him that.
Let's call him that. He was Data.
Oh, yeah.
And again, we'd never met these folks before.
No,
so
only on Twitter.
Only seen pictures of them and interacted a little bit in a sort of background chat. And then we got Worf, which was me.
Oh, yeah.
I did not like, forehead up, which was fair.
Only because it didn't turn up in time.
No, well, I had some sunglasses with the ridges on, which you can probably see on Instagram.
Although I believe Secret Vixen offered to contour your head, which sounded filthy, but it never happened.
It transpired that she never did contour my head, and I never really found out what she meant by that.
I really wanted to see that.
Yeah, I was also keen to do that.
I bet you were.
Yeah. Sit on my face and tell me that you love me. I'll sit on your face and tell you I love you, true.
So there was no contouring of your head to be had?
No, and you were?
Oh, me?
Yes, you.
Oh, my goodness. I was crushing it. I was Beverly Crush. I was a doctor.
Right. So you had to wear... So we were both in a one-piece Star Trek uniform, right?
Fucking July. Really hot.
Some of the hottest days of the year. Wearing a one-piece suit. But you also had a wig, which if we heard you moan about it once... We heard you moan about it a lot.
That's because it was really hot.
It was a wig.
I know.
I mean, it was,
hot.
But it looked hot though. It was.
Did
it was good. I liked it. Yeah.
Yeah, it went down quite well.
Yeah, I think. Yeah. So all of these people were going along to this marvelous event, and we had like a month and a half to kind of get ready for it and get our costumes sorted and all this sort of stuff. But I'm going to be honest, I was quite nervous about this.
Yes. I think we were probably nervous for a few different reasons, though. Partly because we hadn't really done anything like this for ages anyway.
Well,
as in groups of people.
Well, our house party track record is fucking terrible for one.
And that as well, because it is really bad.
There is that. And I think we also have a bit of a, we hadn't played for a while, hadn't been out in the world. But also, I was a little bit nervous because I didn't know a few of the people. And it's kind of, I guess when you look at people on Twitter or whatever thing is, and you sort of begin to you can sort of idolize them a little bit or kind of go, oh, wow, they're really hot. They're really, and they do really good things. And I kind of got not starstruck, but I got a little bit sort of, how can I live up to that image? They must be so popular and so amazing that they would never want to interact with me. It's always about me.
But it is always about you.
yeah. In this situation, it very much is. But, that I was kind of like, oh, shit. So, I'm already back on sort of doing more exercise and all that sort of stuff. But I was like, we should redouble our efforts, sir. I kind of, it was like the Emperor was going to turn up to the Death Star. I know I'm mixing up my stars, but...
Yeah, that is some mixed
That's a
stuff
jump.
going on there.
But I was that dude. I was like, we will redouble our efforts, sir. The Emperor's coming here. It was very much that vibe.
Yeah, a little bit.
How are you feeling about going into this party?
I was shitting a little bit, I'll be honest, because it had been really quite a long time since we'd seen anything more than 4 people in a kind of any kind of setting, really.
Agreed.
Although we've obviously mixed with general public, going out and about in our normal day-to-day life, because it seems fine that you can go and sit on a bus with like 30 people you don't know, but apparently you can't socialise with more than 6 people.
Yeah.
So the point was we hadn't really had any kind of social activity that had involved more than just a few people. So that, for one, was a bit of I was just a little bit trepidatious about it because I didn't know how I'd feel with more people around. And then secondly, the old adage of I haven't lost enough weight yet. Yeah, yawn, we know. Okay. But it's always present in my mind as a concern. So I can't lie and say it's not there because it is. Okay. And then thirdly, just not really knowing what to expect because we hadn't really had a successful party experience before, as you say.
Well,
not one that we'd come away thinking, that was great.
Well, it was very much sort of billed as a Star Trek murder mystery party.
Yeah.
Now, there was an implication because of the people going that there was going to be a level of naughtiness going on, and we felt that was the case. But no one had really explicitly said that.
No. And I think there's also that kind of, obviously, if you didn't want to do anything, I don't think anyone would have been sort of, oh my God, you must join in. No. But equally, FOMO.
Exactly that. So we were chatting to Stag and Vixen about this because I think, I don't want to speak for them. I think they had a little bit of nerves as well because they hadn't met. I don't think they'd met any of these people other than on Twitter and us. Yeah, I
mean, we'd all had some like little Zoom chats over the course of the last sort of year or 6 months or so, but it's not quite the same as meeting people in person, is it?
And their dynamic tends to be a lot more hot wifey.
Yeah, very different.
So, and we didn't know how that was, they didn't know how that was going to feature within this party, or if it was going to feature at all. So I think given the fact that we all had a level of nervousness, we thought it would be cool if we met up with them the night before on the Friday, the party being on the Saturday, had a cheeky hotel stay near them.
Yeah.
And then we could arrive together.
Safety in numbers.
Yeah. Secret Vixen offered to drive us from their place to the
yeah, you nearly knocked your champagne over.
Oh dear, champagne!
Oh my God.
How fantastic
It's the
for
most
us.
middle class thing I've said all day.
It might be.
Steady, you nearly knocked your champagne over.
Pass me my avocado and bacon, please. So she'd agreed to drive us there so we could arrive together. So that would eliminate some of the nerves, but also that if we met the night before, we could sort of chat about it. We could settle down into sort of sexy times and kind of warm ourselves up for that. But also it was kind of a nice way of having those chats while we were driving and kind of excite ourselves up and get in the right frame of mind for it.
Totally.
So we stayed in a hotel not too far from them. They came along with us as well. And that was an incredible help.
Yes, it was brilliant.
That was really fun. So we rocked up at the hotel and they got there 2 minutes before us, literally leaving their car just as we pull up to this little sort of lodge place. And I have to say, they were looking fabulous. They have clearly been working it.
Yeah.
Yeah. See, I did tell you, listener, this is going to be a lot of humble bragging, a lot of, these people are amazing and beautiful and awesome, but definitely through the lens of us, that was the case here. So we ended up, they were sort of in a room above ours in a little lodge thing, and we were below them. And we went for a nice little meal and stuff, and that was really cool. And we got to chat through some of this stuff, got to catch up with them, which is always really nice. And then we got back to the hotel room.
Yes, we did.
And we had a bunch of cocktails, and that was lovely.
Oh, we were going to say a bunch of cocks there.
A bunch of cocks. No, we sort of got some pre-made cocktail things, which are fine and nice,
good.
which were pure sugar.
I had a little room picnic with some
Exactly.
cocktails.
And then, for some reason, we started putting some Star Wars porn on, right?
Star Wars?
Star Wars.
Not Star
Trek. Star Wars. So at first, you were very keen, for some reason, as per normal, to show them the porn that is Star Balls with a Z.
Yeah.
Which is like an animated
porn parody, maybe?
Porn parody. I'm going to use the term parody and porn very loosely here. It's basically a massive infringement of copyright. R2-D2 is Pikachu for some reason. The stormtroopers are penises.
Of course. They have penises on their heads and shoulders.
So we all sort of chilled out and started watching this.
Yeah.
And then you and Mr. Stag here, you started doing your Band of Thieves whispering, sort of like naughty children in the background there.
I was merely feeding some ideas, running some ideas past him that he might want to be involved in.
All right. And what were those ideas?
I believe I said some words around what a lovely chair you were sitting in. Because you were sitting in a very grandiose, like, wing-back chair. Yes.
Oh, really? Okay.
You were sitting in this chair. And it was really kind of, it was almost like a stately home kind of vibe, and very decadent. And
more old people's home, if I'm honest.
No, it wasn't. The chair was like really cool. And while you were sat there, I looked at you and I thought, wouldn't it be hot if, Secret Vixen just walked over to him and took his trousers off and just started going down on him.
Mm-hmm.
So I said these exact words to Stag, and he reciprocated very favourably with this imagery. And then I believe I went and whispered something similar to Vixen. And then everything pretty much got really hot very quickly.
But there was no sucking of my cock, I'll be honest.
What? I'm so sorry.
I know, right? This did not happen.
I demand a recount.
I demand a reblow.
I can't believe you didn't. Well,
this was the case because we brought this up the following morning.
Well, fortunately for you, the rest of the weekend managed to redeem itself in that area, but I'm sure we'll cover that in a minute.
So you're instigating, you and your little band of thieves over there. Mm-hmm. I say band of thieves, there's only two of you. It's like the White Stripes, a very small band.
We took some clothes off, that started things
exactly.
moving.
That started things moving pretty quickly. What did you get up to?
There may well have been some mutual oral sex happening.
Oh, some mutual oral sex.
Well, maybe not at the same time, actually. It was at different times. But I definitely engaged in some fellatio. And we definitely started having some naughty times on the bed together.
Oh, naughty times.
Yeah.
You've got to be a little bit more specific to this one, dear.
Okay, he went down on me. Which was really hot because then you two kind of came along on the bed next to us and started making out.
Mm-hmm.
And I got really shitty because I was like, don't come over and take our real estate. Fuck off.
I did. We were very good at claiming space on the bed. I think we marked our turf.
Space wasn't like a game of risk.
We were like a pair of mountain lions spraying everywhere just to ensure that scent was there.
Yeah, so that all happened and we had some like sexy times ensued quite rapidly.
Mm.
I believe there was some fucking.
Oh, there was some fucking.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, no fellatio for you.
No,
good sir.
No, I know. I did register as a complaint.
But you didn't seem to go without.
I was very, very, very happy with the situation. So I think I went down on her, and then I think we just needed to fuck at that point.
Yeah, we did.
So
we did.
So we did that, and then the best bit. Maybe not the best bit.
Wait, what, the best bit?
Maybe not the best bit, but the really good bit is that, of course, being late, we went to bed, and then we had hotel breakfast delivered.
Right. Yeah, that was better. You're right.
So what I loved about
Sorry,
this,
guys, but the breakfast has usurped you in your sexy tales.
I think it was the combination of it, but I think the excitement about the breakfast was nearly as much as the
well, yeah, because we went up to their room and had kind of breakfast in their bedroom with them.
We all chilled out and had breakfast together, which is really fun and really nice. What I loved is that we're in the bedroom sort of, well, we're talking to them, and they could see the trolley person coming over the hill with the food. And it was like a continual countdown of when they were going to arrive.
I mean, that was really sexy.
I know, there was a lot of anticipation and all of that stuff.
So let's skip on then, because we've got quite a lot of ground to cover here.
We do have a lot of ground to cover. So ultimately, we went back to their house and chilled out for a bit.
Yep. And then what did we do?
And then we jumped in the car.
Yes.
And made our way to Clit Bang and Sprite's house. So they've not long moved in.
Yeah.
It's in the middle of not very much. It's definitely in the country, which is really
great
nice.
for parties like this, I imagine.
Yeah, very much. But what I really loved about the car is, so we're in the car, and clearly the band of thieves it was sat in the back.
In the cool place.
Yeah, with Vixen and I at the front. So I was conducting the music that was going on, which was really fun. So it was,
and I was looking at porn with Stag.
Yeah, I know, right? You were looking at all of their his filthy drives that he has on his phone, all 32,000 of them.
Best 2 hours ever.
Well, actually, to be fair, everyone was singing along, and it was really good fun.
Yeah, it's really sexy.
It was really nice because we had this nice, chilled, sexy environment. We were nervous, but I think because we'd kind of had a bit of sexy fun the night before, we felt like we were in a good space. And it was all just starting to build. And, we were sort of sending the other party attenders clips of us singing in the car, and which I'm sure they will live to regret at some point. But it was a really good atmosphere. And actually, it kind of covered up some of the nerves that I was feeling about sort of
100%.
seeing everyone again.
Yeah, I think we all got quite carried away and giddy with the anticipation of everything.
Anticipation.
But what I really like about things like this is it really reminded me of when I was quite a bit younger, sort of going back to almost to university days, really. And sometimes the getting ready for a party or an event was more exciting than actually going out itself in the end, where you'd all get ready with music and drinks and put your makeup on together, and you just literally spend like 4 hours getting ready because it was so much fun. Well, and this was, although we didn't spend 4 hours getting ready, we did kind of have that vibe of excitement, and we kind of scurried off into a room when we got there to get ready together. Well,
that's what I really like. We were greeted immediately by Clit Bang, followed by Slutty Pants and Mr. Slutty Pants, who were absolutely delightful in the flesh and made a great effort in the costumes.
But we wanted to look party ready, and everyone else was party ready.
We were just like jeans and T-shirts.
So we were like, bye.
Shit, we just took over like a couple of rooms upstairs and got ready, and Stag was around zipping everybody up and down.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed that because, again, we got to be there as a little four, kind of had each other's backs. We were all kind of like in it together and getting really excited and having a drink while we were getting ready. It was just really fun.
It was really nice.
Yeah.
It took me ages to find anything because, as per normal, I'd overpacked everything. But I was ready for any environment.
You really were.
I really was, and it does come in handy later on in this story. And we'll get to this bit soon enough. So we're sort of chilling out, and we put our costumes on and come downstairs. And then we meet the delightful
Violent Croissant.
There we go. I really hope she is okay with this nickname. If not, we're really, really sorry.
How about Decadent Cinnamon Whirl?
I don't think you're helping yourself.
I didn't have to liken her to a baked good. It was purely because her name sounded a little bit like Croissant.
There we go.
And I couldn't remember what her surname was on Twitter. And Besant came across as Croissant.
Oh, good God. So anyways, we met everybody that was in attendance.
She was stunning.
And she was lovely.
In reality.
And actually, we had a sort of half an hour or whatever it was, just chatting to people, getting to know a little bit about them and their backgrounds.
Yeah. But not too much, because I think we were all keen to really get on with this little, the story, the murder mystery, because we were all there ready and like, let's go.
What I loved is that this is a murder mystery back from the 90s and requires an audio cassette. So Clit Bangs about to play it and then realises that she doesn't have a tape player.
Who the fuck has a tape player in this, like,
I
now?
thought we were going to have to wheel a car through the door and just use an old cassette player in a car.
A lot of cars don't have them either.
Well, mine doesn't, no.
Exactly.
So
you're stuck, aren't you?
So fortunately, we managed to find it on the YouTubes or something and play the game. Now, the game was really fun. We're not going to reveal about who won and who is the most awesome person.
We can't give any spoilers to it, just in case anyone out there does decide to track it down and play it. And I would recommend it because it was super fun.
Or in case she wants to lure anyone else back to play the game.
Well, I'm going to reveal the plot now. So
okay.
It can't happen. I'm already jealous.
So there was a lot of reading in that, which was... it was all right, but it was a lot of kind of... What I liked is it gives you facts that you can't tell anybody else.
Yes.
And then facts that you must reveal. So you're kind of there and you're going, oh, I see that you were carrying a brown bag down the passageway, Data. And then someone goes, well, it's funny you should say that, Data. Well, I saw you, Worf, doing the moonwalk across this bit and you were looking really suspicious.
Yeah.
And it's all that kind of stuff. And then at the end, because you haven't got all your facts out and then you just read off shit. So it was really funny and people got into a little bit of character, but also it was kind of like a yelling match and a bit of a
it did become a bit of a struggle to try and get your character's stuff across because everyone was talking at the same time.
You didn't have to speak Klingon. I had to fucking speak like about 8 Klingon words or so.
You did?
I did, yeah.
I thought you were just coughing.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry. Give me a spring roll.
Exactly. So the game was really, really fun, but it was a really, really good way of getting to know everyone a little bit better.
It was a really good laugh.
Getting to know everybody's personalities. So even if you didn't know anything new about them, you got a sense of who they were and how boisterous they were or not. And that was a really cool thing. So after that, we were sort of like, what do we do now?
Well, then we kind of went and watched the sunset.
Yes.
Because it was stunning. And it was nice to just get a little bit of air and everyone kind of took their drinks outside and we sort of watched the sun go down a little bit, which was really lovely. And I think all the way through the game, we'd all kind of been sat there sort of building up more and more flirty vibes.
Yeah.
Because although nothing happened during the game because we were all still, doing this game and this character and stuff, but it was fair to say there was probably some glances and some, a little bit of flirting.
It was very hard to stay in character when you're...
Clit Bang was like bouncing around, giving everyone hugs now and then. It was just really nice atmosphere and
it
everyone was bouncy and happy. And so by the end of that game, I think everyone was just like, what's going to happen now?
And that's the thing. It was really hard to stay in character when you're sort of eye-fucking everyone around the table, which was... And honestly, everyone looked fantastic. And I was interested in all of the ladies there. I was like, this is amazing. This is like a great selection of ladies.
I was also interested in all the ladies.
I know you were interested in all the ladies.
Like hive mind, you and I.
I know, right? You were also interested in the men, but we'll come over to that story soon.
Oh, we will.
Yeah, we will. Oh, my. So... I went and grabbed the Game of Lifestyle.
Yes. Now, this is interesting because obviously you would think with some of the kind of characters in that room already being experienced in some, kind of play situations, you wouldn't necessarily need to bring out a card game like that. But equally, there was some people who hadn't maybe experienced a party or didn't really know what was going to happen next.
Well, we didn't know what was going to happen next.
So I was quite glad of it.
It's a really... In fact, we'd never played the game with so many people.
No.
As ever, people wanted to go immediately to the 4-star ones. And, when it's like, oh, do DP for 3.5 minutes on that person or whatever it is.
Brilliant.
It was kind of like, maybe we'll start at like the 1 stars. Yeah, let's just start at the beginning and work our way up quickly. And that really, really worked. I also was able to chuck down some of my music as well because, it's me.
Yeah, it is. But I'd never played it with such a big group. And I actually thought the game was way better having more people.
100%. What really, I loved, though, was that it didn't matter who it landed on. I was just really, really keen. It's just like, if it lands on anybody, I'm like, this is great. I'm liking this. I'm comfortable with all these people. I'm really interested in all these people. I want to get to know them all better. So I had no worries about where it was going to end up, what was going to happen, all this sort of stuff. It was really cool. And I think everybody else settled into that vibe as well, which is really lovely. Of course, playing the Game of Lifestyle, there comes a time when things start escalating beyond their need. And also you kind of, it's like kiss them for a minute and 6.5 minutes later you're, knuckle deep in them. And there is a bit of that to the game. And that's great because it leads you into this really natural point of like, hey, everyone's sort of breaking off. We don't need to play this anymore. People are starting to play a little bit.
Yeah, we can take our stabilizers off now and just ride on 2 wheels.
Yeah. So at this point, when the sort of Game of Lifestyle... Oh, before we go any further, anything in the Game of Lifestyle that you really liked and that was anything that was really sexy?
Well, basically, everything just kept landing on me taking my clothes off.
That does happen a lot.
Like, literally, guarantee, whenever it was my go, I got the one that said, remove an article of clothing. I was like, for fuck's sake. For
the first time ever, you didn't pull the card that says, lie down and everyone takes a turn kissing you.
I think you took that card out on purpose.
No, I've not touched the pack. I think what's happened is that you always take that card out and you just forgot to bring it this time.
You, sir, sit on a throne of lies.
I do.
Not for the first time.
Oh, I see. Like, that is it. Fine.
So I really enjoyed the fact that, yes, it gave us all a bit of an opportunity to have a sample platter. Which is important because it gives you a little... God, another pun. Another taste of what's to come as you go around. It does. It kind of gives you an opportunity to have a little bit of a, oh, I'm going to get a kiss with this person now. I was looking forward to that, and let's see what this is like. It was all really, really fun.
I quite like the fact that you didn't necessarily get to kiss everyone or play with everybody in that thing. So actually, when the game stopped, it was almost like when you talk to people, it's like, oh, can I kiss you? I've been really wanting to do that all night. I'd love to do that.
Yeah.
Is that okay? Fortunately, everyone was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Knock yourself out. That's great. They were probably a little bit more enthusiastic than that, but
I would imagine so.
Yeah.
So I remember standing in the kitchen after we'd sort of naturally stopped playing with the cards for a bit, and we were having a little drink.
Because we'll always find you in the kitchen at parties.
Yes. And I remember standing next to Miss Slutty Pants. And by this point, she was in a state of undress. So she had some really gorgeous underwear on, and she was standing in the kitchen. And she already had her hand on my bum, I think. And she was just lightly sort of caressing my back a little bit when we were having a drink. And at that point, I was like, I just turned around to her and I said, can I kiss you? And literally, she's like, yes, of course. You know, it was met with a really sort of, yes, definitely. I immediately then relaxed and started kissing her. Which
you were
was
like, nom, 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 nom.
I did not make that noise like Cookie Monster, no. But I did make out with her for a little while, which was really hot. And then across the kitchen, I could see Violet. I'm going to use her lovely name. And I sort of made eye contact with her, and I kind of beckoned her over because I'd been looking at her, and I was sort of, I really want to kiss you now. And that really happened really naturally as well. And it was really, really hot because she came over and she was sort of like, I really wanted to kiss you for ages as well. It was really exciting.
What? She said that to me?
She said to everyone.
It's all lies.
Deal with it.
I'm not special.
It was a special move, all right?
God damn it, I'm going to nick that one.
She's played us all fools. Turns out we were all her favourite. I'm fairly sure Clit Bangs said the same to everyone at some point. You are my absolute favourite. Oh, really? I hate to say it. She said it to all of us.
Yeah, but she did it just immediately after telling you that. That was what I liked about her. That was my...
Before the words had even dried on her lips. It's
exactly.
Like, oh, damn it, she's already telling someone else they're her favourite.
Exactly that. So at this point, I decided to stick my...
What?
360 camera down in the kitchen.
Oh, you fiend.
So I literally chucked it down there and recorded about...
See, I didn't know you'd done that. I didn't.
Okay.
I forgot.
So I think there is an element of a lot of alcohol was consumed throughout the course of the evening. There are some blanks throughout the course of the bit. And
I don't remember. I don't remember any blanks. That's stupid. I honestly don't remember drinking that much, as in too much.
Well,
I drank a good amount.
I think there was enough.
Didn't get
I
hammered.
think given the fact that the evening went from sort of, I don't know, 4 or 5 o'clock all the way through till 3 in the morning, there's enough for you to kind of go, oh, be a bit shaky on remembering everything.
That's fair.
What was really interesting is that that camera just captured sort of 15, 20 minutes of the start of that evening. And subsequently, I've made it into a little video, which is just shared between the party group, which is amazing.
It's really cute.
And
I love it.
So many of those little blanks about that early party. I was like, oh, that's what happened.
That's what happened.
That's what happened. And that's what happened. So much like yourself, I was kind of making my way through the kitchen and making out with people.
Yes.
I think that was pretty much...
I think that's what everyone was doing.
Yeah.
They were kind of mingling around and having a little kiss here and there, and then there might have been some blowjobs here and there.
Well, yeah, and then
that's
some of the
what
ladies
you do when you're
started...
mingling,
yeah,
right?
yeah, they started giving some head, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And then I got pulled down to the floor by Clit Bang.
Yeah.
Now, this is going to lead into an interesting story for us, I believe.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Oh, yes. All right. Okay.
Well, no, okay. It's a good story.
It's a good story.
It's not a bad thing.
No. Well, being pulled to the floor by Clit Bang is never a bad thing.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Well, you know, yeah, the bruisers say otherwise, I suppose.
Once you're down there, she bites you.
She is a bit like the David Tennant bitey gif.
I mean, the segue, I did get bit.
Did you?
Yeah.
I got bit.
And I nearly punched her in the face. I was like, no.
Easy. That's a harsh move.
It was a really hard bite.
Oh, okay.
It took me by surprise.
I
really took me by surprise.
I think there was an element of trying to bite me more than actually biting me.
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting the bite.
Okay. I always expect it now.
I didn't.
So anyway, we're on the floor sort of fooling around, and she says that she really wants me to play with her on their kitchen table. So I wander over out the kitchen and sort of into the table or onto the table. And it is that moment of sort of a cross between trying to put away stuff that's on the table nicely, but also trying to get it onto the table so I can play with it.
Okay.
So we eventually sort that out, very quickly in the sort
You
of...
laid the table?
Laid the table, yeah. And yeah, she laid on the table. So I start playing with it.
Yeah.
And that's going on for a little bit of time.
Yes. Not that I was timing it for you, but
No.
yes.
And then I turn around and you're not in the room at all.
Okay. Was anyone else in the room?
No.
Here we go.
So one of our rules has always been that we don't play in separate rooms.
Yes.
And then I turn around, you're not there. So I thought maybe she's gone to the bathroom. Turn around.
Everybody else.
With everybody else, yeah, that's strangely. And then turn around again and you're still not there. At which point we kind of decide that we're kind of, okay, let's find out where the fuck everybody has gone. And also, I didn't know whether you were upset with me or what the deal was, whether you were pissed off, because, you know, those things you've all felt towards me at some point or other. They're not unusual moments. So we Clit Bang and I get up. Mm-hmm. This is all beautifully captured on the camera, by the way, which is marvellous.
Seeing this.
After us having a lovely little time there.
Getting up from a kitchen table.
Yeah, and then go in the front room and there is a train of bodies. So everyone's going down on you and someone's going down on them.
I know what was happening. I was going down on Violet and she was reclining back on the settee like some Renaissance painting. Mm-hmm. And I believe Clit Bang was underneath me on her back.
She wasn't straight away.
Oh, no, sorry, not Clit Bang. No, Slutty Pants was next to me. There was all sorts of stuff going on. We were all just having this little make-out session.
Yeah, I noticed this and I was like, well, hang on, this looks distinctly... I'm just pouring myself a drink here. I know it's very rude on the show, but, it's Friday night, so it'd be kind of rude not to, really. So, yeah, we kind of agreed not to play in different rooms, and lo and behold, you were definitely... face deep.
See, on a technicality here, technically you were playing in a different room also.
Yes, but you were in the room when I started that.
Well, you see.
You cannot get out of this one. You started playing in a different room without talking to us.
But you were already playing in the room I just left.
No. The rule is that we don't play in separate rooms, and you left that room and played in a different one.
Yes, there was a stud partition wall between us.
You cannot... Okay. Were you
You're
playing...
going to go into a Wookiee defence now.
There is no Chewbacca defence. Right. Were you playing in a different room?
I was playing in the next room.
Okay. Were you playing in the front room?
Yes.
Would you say that the front room is different to the kitchen?
It doesn't have an oven. Yes, it's definitely different.
Yes. So therefore you are playing in a different room. Correct?
There's a level of correctness about it.
Just honestly, you can't, you're so bad with your apologies and your admitting stuff.
Oh, I'm not apologising.
No, I know you're not apologizing. You're likely to say, I'm sorry that you feel that I owe you an apology.
That's exactly what I would say.
But my point is that I was worried. I didn't know whether I'd done something wrong or whether you were upset or whether you were okay.
I'm just pulling your leg. Fine, you are correct on that assumption.
Yes.
What I will say is it was not a conscious decision of, I'm going to break a rule and go into another room here. What I actually did was I could see, we locked eyes a couple of times throughout the mingling kitchen session. And, we were both quite happily making out with multiple people.
Yeah.
We could see each other. We were occasionally exchanging glances. That was all good. And then, yes, at some point you did wander off a little bit. And technically another room, you see. You went into the dining area. I'm joking before you're going to throw a glass of champagne at me. So you kind of went off towards the end of the kitchen then area. And again, we're all adults. We weren't... I wasn't looking at you thinking, I'm going to sneak off. But what I didn't want to do is just wander over and tap you on the shoulder and interrupt you and say, hey, can I have a permission to go in the other room, please? I didn't do that, granted. Maybe I should have done. But at the same time, it did seem like a very safe place to just move, 20 yards away from you. And hopefully nobody died.
And I get that. We'll come back to this.
Oh, good.
Whole conversation.
Excellent.
Surely, because we've got some sexy moments to talk about before we get to that. Because we did...
And then you'll come back and, grill me again.
I'm not going to grill you. Because later on, there comes a point where you do ask if you can go into a different room and play.
Yes, but so my other point in this was it's not like I left the room and went upstairs, for example. So maybe in my head I was like literally just moving across the hallway into an adjacent room.
I didn't
go upstairs.
You gave it a second thought.
I did. But I didn't specifically stand there and think, should I go and ask him if I can move away?
Yeah. Yeah, you really didn't think about it.
But you did also seem to be extremely involved and very happy.
Yeah, but that's not the question. Anyway, we'll come back to this bit. So I make my way into the room with Clit Bang, and we immediately start catching up with people. And
yeah, you seem it was seamless. You just like cracked on.
Well, I did, but one of my hot moments, one of the moments that I remember quite well. So I'm sort of on the sofa, I think, at one point, just sort of chilling out. I can't remember if I'm with anybody or not. Chilling out, yeah.
Lying there with an erection. Yeah. I'm just chilling.
Yeah,
this
just
is how
chilling.
I always chill.
Yeah, this is my favourite chill position.
It's my favourite chilling erection.
And then I hear Secret Vixen say to Secret Stag that she wants my cock. All words to that effect.
At which point your ego probably went sploosh.
Yeah, my cock didn't. But they were doing their little hot wife thing.
Yeah, they were.
I said the little. I don't mean to be derogatory towards it.
They were having a little hot wife moment.
And she wanted to leave him and come and play with me.
Yes.
Temporarily, for that moment only, he's assured me. And that was really hot. And then so I got to play with her.
Mm-hmm.
And she did start going down on me.
Yay.
And sucking my cock. I was like, yay, this is great.
The weekend has been redeemed.
Yes, redeemed. Redemption. All the while she was looking at him, which is really hot.
Yeah.
So,
because that's what they do.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Their thing.
Like, hey, I have contact over here. This is where the money is, right? But more seriously, though, then we actually start fucking, and then he's obviously really interested in watching that. By the way, Secret Stag is filming, fucking, and taking pictures of everything.
I know. He's probably got 1 million photos now.
He does. But what I loved is that it's like the first half of the evening is completely photographed. Second half, really not.
I bet when he listens to this episode, he'll probably try and match up the photo with the moment that we're describing.
That's true.
Because his mind will do that.
Well, it's a shame, really, that you can't show those pictures.
Is.
Yeah,
this is the moment at which this happened.
Well, many of these moments were captured literally on camera, and the moment where she looks up at him is very clearly captured, and it's fantastic. But then there's a panning round where you are now on your back, and someone is going down on you. And in fact, you're in the middle of what I can only describe as a gorgy going on. Yeah, a girl orgy, not just a borgy, a borg orgy.
There's a couple of ladies involved.
Yeah,
with me.
And you are sort of like literally in your element.
I'm in the middle.
You're in the middle.
Like an Oreo cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tell us about what was going on with you.
Well, you are correct.
Well,
I was.
I got a hankering, and the only thing that's going to solve it.
At one point, I mean, we did quite a lot of switching around positions and whatnot, but I was at one point lying on my back, and Violet was going down on me. And next to me on the settee was Slutty Pants, and she was kissing me while all this was going on, which was really hot. And then I'm fairly sure somebody was going down on her at the same time as well. And then there was a little bit of a switch around, and I was going down on Violet, and Clit Bang was definitely underneath me, going down on me. And then somebody was behind Clit Bang, I think, fucking her. So it was like a daisy chain effect happening, which is
daisy printer.
Yeah, which is really, really hot. So there was quite a lot of nobody stayed still in the same
it was all very
long.
Interchangeable, which I really liked. Now at this point, I'm like, I need to go get a drink.
Also at this point, I'm fairly sure Slutty Pants jumped on top of me, and I think it's called tribbing. I want to call it tribbing.
Mm-hmm. The trouble with tribbing.
Very apt considering the setting.
Mm-hmm.
So I know we've referred to scissoring in the past and my woeful attempts at achieving that.
Mm-hmm.
So this was better. This was the tribbing, which is, I think, the close clit-to-clit contact.
Clit-to-clit contact.
Is that right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I believe so.
Which is really, 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 really hot.
So
I'm really excited by that.
This was happening. I go and get a drink.
Yes.
Then a few minutes later, you come out with Miss Slutty Pants and Mr. Slutty Pants.
I also want to point out that there was a point at which Secret Vixen had not one but 3 penises in her mouth.
Yep.
Was that around the same time?
I was one of those.
I know you were.
I don't know whether she got all three of them in her mouth at once.
No, but she definitely had a plethora of penises in her face.
Well, Stag was very keen on having this memoir for the mantelpiece. A nice photo. I'm going to sign it later on.
He's going to get on a coaster.
He is.
We're going to need a big coaster.
T-shirt. Great T-shirt.
More of a table mat, really, isn't it? With 3 penises in it. I can't remember at what point that was. I just recall there being a moment.
That was just before
where
I
she
left.
was on her knees and there were 3 of them in her face.
I think, and the timing all goes a bit wibbly wobbly, but I'm just going to recall some moments. So I think that happened before I went to the kitchen. I go to the kitchen, and a few moments later, you reappear.
It's like a game of Cluedo.
It is a bit like it's like the Hangover. It's like the Hangover
with a rope.
There's a tiger in the bathroom. What the fuck is going on?
Definitely.
So
everything was
I'm
on
in the
fire.
kitchen, and they come out and they are trying to make you come.
Yeah. And I want to talk about this a little bit because, as ever, and we've talked about this in the past, and my not inability, but my inability to sometimes get out of my own head. And in the past, I've had difficulty kind of getting to climax, maybe because there's too much going on, or sometimes I just need something not to constantly change.
Yeah.
And I need some almost like a repetitive, let's stick with this because it's feeling good. And changing it around and moving position very often means I then have to start again in a way.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it, but it doesn't necessarily, it's not conducive to me reaching orgasm. So I think this is absolutely what's happening for me. There was so much changing around, which was really hot, but at the same time, it wasn't ever going to really get me anywhere like close to climax.
So they brought you out onto a sofa in their sort of dining room area, and I said I'd help.
Mission.
I was like, don't worry, folks. I've got this.
Well, interestingly, when you came out and you were there, I instantly kind of relaxed and thought, oh, he's got this because he always does. And I know I'll probably come if he goes down on me because you always do make me come. Again, though, I still was in my head. Hang
on. You say if I go down on you. You did a very clear fingers.
Oh, yeah.
I believe.
Yeah.
But they also had a wand or a vibrator out. So that was going on. So we did make you come or help you come.
Yes. But I was feeling really bad at this point because I was worried as
That's
ever.
always nice when your wife and indeed a lady says, you made me come, but I felt really bad.
No, I didn't mean that. I meant I always worry that it takes me so long sometimes. And then as soon as I have that thought in my head that it's taking me too long, I then immediately go, oh no, I'm taking too long. They're not going to want to play with me if it's taking forever.
I think people love making you come. And even if it's a challenge, I think there's something quite nice about winning that challenge if you can get through it. It's just knowing how to do it. So I was there helping them do that, and you came. And then she and I hadn't really interacted, Miss Slutty Pants and I, that much up to that point. And then literally while he was still sort of playing with you and sort of chilling out with you, I went down on her.
Yeah.
While she was on the table. It's always that fucking table. It's a magic table.
It is the fucking table.
And then while he was sort of playing with you still, I started fucking her.
Yes.
And that was really hot.
Because you were standing up in front of me.
Yeah.
So you were from behind.
I think she was like kissing you and holding and playing with you. And he was giving you attention. And I was.
So I really liked that little 4-way in the setting.
That was really fun.
It almost felt a little bit more, not normal. That's the wrong word. Completely the wrong word.
It was like a regular Sunday afternoon.
It was less to focus on. And therefore I could probably feel more of the sensations without kind of losing myself in all the bodies and, not really knowing what was happening.
She was so much fun to play with, especially in that moment.
She's really, really sweet.
She is really sweet. I have to be honest, I was quite intimidated by her because of that, because of the Twitter presence and because she was like really attractive and we hadn't had that much time to connect a little bit. We hadn't really connected during the game, I don't think. So when I got the chance, I was like, oh, I've really been looking forward to doing this with you. Can I? And that was really nice. It was just like a really nice connection. It felt good in the moment. And with you there as well, it was just like this really hot little moment for me. I was like, after having just had this delightful sort of hot wife moment in the other room, in the kitchen, now I'm like, yeah, this is really fucking sexy.
So at this point, had you already come?
No.
At any point?
I hadn't at that, no. When I finished doing that bit I had, but not at this point.
I was going to ask, at what point did you come? I can't remember.
It was at that point.
Okay. So not when you were having the hot wifey bit on the setting?
No, I didn't at that bit. I was very fucking close and desperately trying not to come. And I believe that Secret Vixen was doing her very best to try and make that happen. And I was doing my very best to not make that happen. So
these women, eh?
I know, right?
One thing on their mind.
So sort of party goes upstairs a bit, right?
Yeah. I mean, not everybody went upstairs, but there was definitely some like people stepping away a little bit and finding a bit more different space. And I think Secret Vixen was upstairs with Sprite. Is that right?
Well, I'm not quite sure on the order.
Wanted to be upstairs with Sprite.
Well, I think there's a couple of moments. I think, so I think she'd been playing with him downstairs and then went upstairs.
Yeah, they wanted a bit of time together, I think.
At this point, I start going into full party mode.
You did.
And I was a bit of a prick, I'm going to be honest. It's not that unusual, I'm sure, gentle listener, but I thought, wouldn't it be fun if we all traipsed upstairs in a big naked sort of conga dance line, particularly as Dirty Dancing Time of My Life.
You get very carried away with music. You always have done.
I do. And I love that. But everyone was kind of, this is fun, this is great. So we all sort of lots of us traipsed in there into the room, doing the sort of walk down off the stage as in Dirty Dancing. Or at least that's how it felt in my head, with me carrying this ridiculous fucking speaker that I've got. And they were kind of at it.
Yeah.
So, but because I had people behind me, I was like
laughing,
and she was laughing. I think he was going to kill me.
I don't blame him.
I don't blame him at all, and I'm very, very sorry, Sprite. I do apologise. I feel like a bit of a dick at the time, though. Mr. H thought it was fucking amazing, so I just carried on dancing, and then we all sort of started dancing,
spoiling his vibe.
Yeah, but it turned into a bit of a naked dance party with a bit of sexy times going on. Yeah, I'm breezing past this quite nicely, not to look so much of a penis. But so that all got fun. And then the birthday girl shows up, right?
Yeah, so this is the bit where she was on the bed and she blindfolded.
Yeah, so she ended up being blindfolded, and Violet and myself and Sprite sort of, they tied her up, and I was taking a bit of control over what was going on with her. So I was kind of orchestrating. In my mind, it was like that da-da-da-dun, da-dun, da-da-da-da, and Fantasia or whatever it is with the Sorcerer's Apprentice. And I'm sort of orchestrating who comes over and does what. So I was just bringing over different people to kiss her, to play with her, to touch her, and then rotating it. So she didn't really know what was going on. And that was really hot.
Yeah.
And like me being in charge, also really hot for me. Who would have thought it, right?
I'm fairly sure at one point I nearly turned around to you and went, don't you tell me what to do? In fact, I did, I think.
Yeah, you did.
I did.
And I was like, shut up, just do it.
And I was like, fuck off, you didn't tell me what to do.
Well, I was orchestrating the thing.
Yeah, but you didn't really make that clear to me.
Yeah, but everyone else got it.
Anyway, but I don't like being told what to do.
Yes, I know, but you also like being suggested what you'd like to do. Like, hey, wouldn't it be really good if you did this? But I couldn't do that because I had to point because I was being quiet so as not to alert Clit Bang as to who was kissing her or making out with her, doing whatever. So
we all bowed to your will, yes.
Yes, and her will, I suppose, to a certain extent. And then I got the strap-on out for you.
Yeah.
And this was really hot. So after trying to sign language my way through, you need to put the strap-on wife and fuck this girl while she's blindfolded.
Yeah, I did.
Well, you did, but it took you a while to figure out what was going on.
Yeah, I mean, one, it was dark.
Yeah.
And two, I was like trying to figure out, all these people were like coming and going. And
do you remember kneeling on the bed and me rolling a condom onto your dick, as it were?
Yeah, you gave me a condom and I put it on.
No, I put it on.
No, I put it on.
Not sure about that.
Fairly sure I did.
All right,
I pinned
witnesses.
the end, and I was like, why am I pinned in the end?
Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyways.
But it was muscle memory. Like, I remember specifically pinching the end of the condoms. Like, oh, that's stupid.
You're not great at putting condoms on. It's not your forte.
I don't need to do it very often.
No, I know. So you start fucking her, basically.
Yes.
She doesn't know that it's a woman at first, does she?
At first, she doesn't know.
No. And then I think she starts getting a little bit of idea. And what do you do? What do you say?
I leaned over her so she could smell my neck. And I asked her to smell me because I was wondering if she would then twig that there was perfume, and it was obviously a woman.
But saying smell me was probably a giveaway, wasn't it, in your accent?
Well, I said it very softly.
Well, you should have said it like Batman. Smell me. Where's Falcone?
And then I started kissing her, and I think at that point she then whispered back that she knew it was me.
Funny
But
that.
then it was really exciting because she then sort of called a bit of a time out and asked me if I wanted to go downstairs on my own with her to carry on alone.
Yeah.
Which I was really excited by. And I've wanted to do that for ages.
Yeah.
But I was also very cognizant that, again, that's not something we've done before. And you've always been present.
What made you recognise it the second time?
Because I remember this conversation.
What made you think this is different to that
I know
first
what was
time?
different. It was because somebody has specifically asked me if I wanted to go to a different room.
Yeah.
As opposed to being kind of moved into a different room en masse.
Okay.
With a bunch of people who kind of took me along with the tide.
Oh, okay.
If
I
that
see.
makes more sense.
No, it doesn't, but it's fine. We'll allow it.
In my head, it was
Allow it.
like somebody specifically said to me, come to a different area with me and we will play alone.
Yeah.
That was a very direct question. And it needed me to go to you and ask your permission.
Yeah.
That's why I did at that point. Previously, as I said, I'd just been moved with the flow.
Okay.
So
you went to do that.
And you were already playing anyway on the bed.
Who was I playing with at this point?
It was either, oh God, I don't know. There was
It was Slutty Pants.
It was Slutty Pants.
It was definitely Slutty Pants at that point.
So you were actually already engaged anyway with playing with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
So I just leaned over and I said, I know we've talked about this before, but I'd really like to do this. You're really happy here. You're doing this. You're not like you're going without. Will you let me do this? I don't know if you were very happy at first,
No,
but I couldn't really tell.
No, I was fine.
You were fine.
I was like, oh, now you're asking me. Is that all right? Yeah, fine.
So you said yes.
Yeah.
And then Clit Bang grabbed about 3 toys and we headed downstairs together.
Yes.
So when we got downstairs, we started chatting for 5 minutes, just generally chatting about what was happening and, getting a bit of breath away from the situation and just idly talking. And then loads of people came downstairs and carried on and rudely interrupted my alone time. And I was actually too much of a pussy to tell them to fuck off.
Or go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because you could have gone somewhere else realistically, couldn't you?
Again, it's her party.
Well, this is true.
And I didn't want to be that person saying, hey, I know it's your party and everything, and these are your guests that have just come to see you again, but could we please go somewhere else and carry on what we were going to do? So I didn't. And that was probably the right call because I'm not much of a dick, but I want to ruin someone's party by
that's fair.
taking the host away from her guests.
Yeah.
At the same time, I was a little bit pissed off. I was like, damn it, finally. I've got the situation where I wanted, where I was going to finally have some alone time with a really hot lady. I was snatched away from me.
Oh, snatched.
There was no snatch for me.
Oh, dear. So while this was happening to you...
I mean, it obviously then everyone got involved again. And it recommenced with group activity, which was fine, but I was...
When am I stupid?
Kicking my way through things, kicking the sex toy at the way. But you carried on upstairs, one assumes.
Yeah, so I was playing with Slutty Pants for a while, which is really, really fun.
Well, lucky you.
and her other half was playing with Violet.
Okay.
And then at one point we swapped.
Mm-hmm.
All the way, my music is playing. And my playlist, or our playlist, should I say?
No, your playlist.
It's no, you're responsible for at least most of the
I'm not
tracks.
responsible for playing it at a sex party.
Well, maybe not.
That's on you, dear.
We have played it at a couple of things. Anyway, so there were a couple of moments sort of earlier when Clit Bang was all tied up that Moana came on and we had to quickly move past it. Great tracks, but, not probably so good
Probably not really the mood
the
you want.
environment. So while Violet and I are sort of playing, and that was really hot and really sexy and fun, a bit of Tom Jones came on. And then we sort of finished up.
What, did you come again?
Thanks to Tom Jones. No, I didn't come at that point.
Okay.
No, but the sort of play came to a natural sort of
got you.
kind of finished state. And I think we were kind of just chilling out, sort of just sort of gently touching each other. And then Slutty Pants was being really railed by Mr. Slutty Pants.
Okay.
Like really properly like bent over the bed. She was like biting like the duvet type thing while that was happening. Just as Queen's Don't Stop Me Now came on. And then I think, it's fair to say that Violet and I may have sung them across the line to Don't Stop Me Now. So while he's absolutely like pounding it, and he's going like it looked fantastic. It was really hot, and she was really moaning and really loving it. And there's us whispering, and well, not whispering, like "Don't stop me now, I'm having such a good time."
You absolute meat flutes, the pair of you.
Maybe. It was funny at the time. I don't know how funny it was to them. And again, I'm sorry for being a dick.
I would have told you to fuck off.
Yeah, probably.
Frankly.
But actually, you may have joined in. Like, it's Don't Stop Me Now. You can't, I mean, it's rude not to join into that.
Yeah, but I can't have sex to a TV programme either, and you can.
Yeah, why not?
Because I'm like listening to the TV show.
Depends
then.
on the TV show. Totally. Anyway, it was a funny but dickish moment. And then we sort of came downstairs and we were sort of all a bit knackered. And I think the sort of party was winding down / up. And Slutty Pants and
I think
Mr.
Spike went to
Slutty Pants.
bed.
Well, I think he was
Because
sort of...
he had to go do some work the next day. And
Yeah, I think so. And they weren't staying there. The rest of us were sort of staying there.
Yeah,
So
right.
they headed off. And so it was really sad seeing them go. And I really missed them in the morning because it felt like we had a really nice sort of group moment the next day. But sort of everyone kind of drifted up to bed apart from Stag Vixen, you and I. And we were sort of having our little sort of miniature debrief.
With no briefs on.
With no briefs on.
No, actually, no, you had some Star Trek boxes on at this point.
Did I? Oh,
Yeah,
good.
you put them back on.
Because
he was sitting on furniture,
Oh, yeah. You don't want to just like snail trail the whole thing.
After laying the host on the kitchen table. No,
And
you
a
put some
number of
pants
other
on
people.
to
Yeah.
sit on her settee.
Exactly that.
Baffling logic.
So we were all having a little bit of a chat, and then Clit Bang came back downstairs. Like it was like someone escaping, like she'd broken out of the bedroom.
Someone put you to bed and you got up again.
Yeah, and she was sort of like a savage on the run. But what I really liked is, so we all sort of sat there chilling out, and we were joking that it would be impossible to give a blowjob in the Guinan hat, the infamous giant purple Guinan hat.
It keeps falling off.
Yeah. Nope.
Wide brim.
Clit Bang was having none of it, and then proceeded to give a very quick example demonstration blowjob to Secret Stag to prove that it is indeed possible to do it in the hat.
Yes.
So fair play to her before she was then arm wrestled back upstairs to go to sleep. So we kind of went upstairs and went to our respective rooms.
Went to bed
because we were feeling quite tired at that point. We were sort of halfway through a bit of a debrief, I suppose, but we kind of, by the time Operation Guinan Hat Blowy was done, we were kind of like, oh, it's a bit knackering. Let's catch up, because we had to go back to theirs the next day to get our car back. So the next day we got up, and everyone else was up before us, it seems, not that unusual. But what I really loved was just this wonderful chilling out around the now cleaned kitchen table, having some croissants, which you found hilarious because croissant.
And also on the kitchen table.
Yeah, and on the kitchen table.
But before that, you did some nice things in bed for me.
Oh, I did. When we woke up, before we came downstairs, I brought you off.
You did.
You had like the total hand experience.
Because I think I was like actually a little bit frustrated by this point.
Well, you'd come once, but...
Yeah, I know, but everyone else had come like a million times, I think. I felt like it.
Oh, bless you. So we did that while we could hear chatting downstairs, which is quite nice, especially as we could hear people talking about the night before, which is really sexy.
Yeah.
Come downstairs, had some breakfast, and then we got in the car and they dropped Violet off along the way, and then we just had a really nice sort of chat and debrief. Now, one of the things that we discussed in our morning was actually that you were missing something.
Some things.
What was it you were missing, Mrs. H?
Dick.
I'm
not going to lie. I'm going to beat about the bush. I did lots of bush.
You did lots of bush, I think, you'll find.
I actually diddled myself out of penis.
You diddled yourself?
Out of penis.
Oh, okay.
And I don't quite know how that happened.
What happened? Tell us more about this lack of penis.
I'm still trying to work it out.
Oh, okay.
But essentially, I was obviously very excited to interact with lots of ladies, because that's kind of always my, opera Amanda a little bit. I want to like play with ladies and get involved, because I don't normally get a chance to do that so much. So I was really excited to do that, but I also managed to somehow avoid any interaction with penises.
Because you were making out with the guys.
I was kissing some guys, but for some reason it never went any further than that.
Well, was it that you didn't like the guys?
No.
Did
they
you fancy
were really
them?
nice. Yeah,
Okay.
I liked all of them. But it just didn't really work out, but they were always busy with another person. And I'm sure they probably wouldn't have minded if I'd gone over and said, hey, can I join in? But also it seems a bit rude if they're already fucking a lady to go and say, can I cut in and have this dance?
Well, it's interesting because the environment did remind me of that sort of desire when we went with the swing set, where it's very free-flowing and very much, oh, I really like you, can I kiss you? And bringing yourself into situations.
Yeah.
I think unless you asked for it, I don't think it was ever going to necessarily
it's not
happen.
just going to turn up and present itself. Sometimes you have to just ask for what you want. And I know I'm not very good at doing that sometimes anyway. It's not one of my strong points because I always feel, not shame, but I always feel I can't do it sometimes.
Well, I think your
either
background...
because of some kind of rejection or I don't know.
I don't think you're used to asking for people to do stuff. I think you're used to people coming to you.
Oh.
I think this is part of what it's about.
That sounds very egotistical.
No, I don't mean that in an ego way. I just think that's been your nature.
Maybe.
And particularly if we're playing with a couple, it tends to be that the guy's into you and the woman's into you.
Well, there's only so many ways it can go, aren't there, if there's four of you?
Yeah, but you're very much used to sort of people coming to you and being after you. I'm sort of used to having to work it a bit more. It doesn't help being a bit of a prick as we've explained, but actually I'm much more used to sort of getting to that space of, oh, it'd be really nice if we did this.
So it's not as though I wasn't doing anything, and it's not as though I was wandering around like kicking my heels, wondering what to do. I was obviously engaged.
You were knee deep
in
clunge.
I was entertained all night.
Yeah,
absolutely. And there was nothing about that was bad. It was all amazing and fantastic. But I did reflect the next day and think, fuck it, I've done myself out of actually being fucked. And I actually really realised at that point that it would have been nice at some point to have been fucked.
And it's unusual for you to be that sort of, I wanted to be pounded was your statement to me.
I would have welcomed some
pounding, some fucking, some cock.
I would.
Yeah.
But actually, I did some fucking instead.
Well, that was the other thing. You were like, no, I didn't fuck anybody. I'm like, you did.
Well, you did.
But you did it with strap on, which is different.
Know. So how strange. Everyone obviously did have lots of sex, and I didn't actually have sex with anyone apart
You
from
did have sex.
You know what I mean?
You didn't have penetrative
sex with somebody.
Penis and vagina sex.
No. And then, Stag was like absolutely mortified. He was like, what? Why? I would have had sex with you. Like, oh, not pity fuck, but thanks.
But I think that was something that you reflected on. Is there anything else that you changed from the party? Would you have done anything differently?
I don't know if I would have done anything differently other than maybe not gone en masse to the other room because, fine, that did break a rule.
But I think that did mean that we've tried something we've never tried before. As you said, neither one of us died or killed over because of it.
No, we had an amazing time. And that worked. I'm not saying that that's something that we would naturally want to do again moving forwards and play separately. I don't want to play separately. But we can obviously exist at an experience where we can actually not be joined at the hip. I
think that actually it was really healthy and really good for us. And I think as long as we're both occupied, we know that can work. And I think that does give us a little bit of flexibility to play with certain scenarios a bit, which is kind of fun. You were certainly doing your hot wifey, whispering in Stag's ear type stuff that you like to do, and your band of thieves, and you enjoy that manipulation of oh, this is what we're doing, this is what they'd like to do, and they're going to do it in front of us. So you got to do lots of that, and I got to do the hey stuff, which is always good for me.
I'm a little bit regretful that I didn't get my solo lady play. Because I was looking forward to that, and it was really exciting when I was asked to go and have that. So I was like, oh my god, yay! I really, really wanted to do that, but didn't happen.
So we just need another party, basically, really, just to make up for that bit. From my perspective, I think I was kind of looking forward to at the end reconnecting with you, and also I suppose with Stag and Vixen, because we sort of had that moment with them on the way, but I think by the time we kind of settled down, and by the time like we were all kind of talking about it, it was all a bit late. So I don't think we just, I think because we had to drive the next day, we had like 6 hours or something in the car to go through to get back home. That probably would have killed us. So
I'm kind of surprised I didn't play with you more, maybe in a way. I know I did play with you a little bit Actually, I didn't play.
You did a bit.
Yeah.
You certainly did on the sofa, and there was the odd grope and the odd kiss, and we had lots of kisses, especially in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So I think there was certainly elements of play, but I really wanted to fuck you come the end of the night, and I think we were just all knackered. I'm glad I played with you the next day, though, so we had a little bit of reconnection. I'm also really glad that as soon as we got through the door at home, we were like on it, like a car bonnet.
Totally.
And you got taken to Poundland and all the other cheap stores, and then we had sex, which was marvelous. So overall, though, I think it was an amazing weekend, and I'm really glad that we got to push some of our boundaries in a really safe environment. I'm incredibly happy that we met some amazing new people who we all had this shared experience. So, and if you've been following us on Twitter, you'll have seen all the retweets and all that sort of stuff. I'm really looking forward to catching up with them all again.
Yeah, I know.
And it'd be great to get the band back together. But if we can't do that, I'd love to see them all separately. So they're all universally welcome here. And, I'd love to get something in the diary where we can see some of them or all of them again.
I would agree. I feel like we've definitely found some really lovely people that I'd love to play with again. Yeah,
and hats off to Clit Bang and Sprite, because they had hats. And they had an amazing place. The house is fucking incredible. But the environment they created, the little things they went out of the way to do, they put bottles of water and headache tablets in each room and tracker bars, and they made us feel so welcome. But also, the people that they brought to the table that we didn't know were fantastic. So, I want to say a huge thank you. Brought off to the table. I want to say a huge thank you to them for all of their efforts and all of the stuff they did. And I hope that she had a really good birthday. I really do.
I am fairly sure she had a banging birthday.
She was banged on her birthday.
Well, technically, no, because it wasn't her birthday that night.
Okay.
But I'm sure she had a memorable birthday celebration.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the show notes, we'll put links to all of these people on the Twitter. So if you don't know who they are, you can find them and have a look at them, because they are absolutely amazing people. And they're good human beings. And that's what really came across, even from the short conversations that we'd had. And I think, if anything, one of my regrets is that I didn't spend enough time chatting to them and getting to know them even better. But that does leave, hopefully, the door
really
open.
Well.
Yeah, it got to know them inside, just not necessarily outside. But hopefully that means that we can have other occasions where we catch up with them and get to know them even better, because that would be absolutely wonderful. Anything you'd like to add to that, dear?
No, I think we've covered everything.
I think we've covered everything in spunk.
Oh.
All right, then. Do you want to do your thing?
Wow, yeah, we cut into the let's do a thing.
Well, actually, one more thing.
Go on.
One more thing. Don't forget that we've got a Patreon. So if you've liked this episode and would like to hear it again in a different way,
yes,
we're going to post. We did another recording of this show,
a slightly different
version of it, covering the same stuff pretty much, but just in a slightly different way. So we thought it would make a really good, nice first Patreon exclusive. So if you want to hear that, pop on over, sign up, and you can open that. Well, you will be able to once I've posted it. So I'll get my arse in gear now. But yeah, enjoy that. You can see our Star Trek picture on Twitter as well. I hope you like that. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
Okay.
Do you want to do the thing?
I do. Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.
Just a thought. There was something that we did miss, wasn't there?
Missed.
Yeah, we've not covered it on the show.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Dear. So on the way back, from the party, we're in the car. We have dropped Miss Croissant.
Yes, we did.
The place, and
we had some very sexy conversations in the car on the way back.
Vixen's driving, so naturally I'm sat up front hosting more music or whatever.
Yeah, because
which
you're
is
the
nice.
music man.
Like a Pied Piper leading us all astray. And you and Stag are sat in the back, like your band of thieves, sharing all of the pictures from the previous night.
I didn't have any pictures. He was sharing them all with me.
Yeah, so you were seeing all the videos, all the pictures.
Oh my God.
And then
We
Well,
were
what-
talking about everything again.
Well, we were doing our debrief, and one of the things that cropped up was that you had not had any dick that night.
Oh, poor Stag. He was mortified for me. He was very keen to remedy it.
The fact he said,
Not in the back of a car.
I wanted to fuck you.
He did.
So we were chatting away, and
Yeah.
and things start, because we're in the car and we're chatting about all the night before and all the sexy things that we've talked about.
Reflecting and reliving.
It starts getting a bit hotter
Yes.
and a bit warmer.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they had aircon, so we managed to cool things down a little bit. So we eventually, after a couple of hours, got to their house. And we're sort of sat on the sofa, just sort of chatting away, and it's all...
Well, I think what actually happened was he was extremely excited and started escalating pretty much 2 minutes after getting in the house.
Yeah, pretty much 2 minutes after sitting down and chatting.
And proclaimed that he was going to walk right on over to me and kiss me.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do this now. And
Bold
he did.
move.
He
Very
did.
bold move.
Yeah, which is very hot.
So he started playing with you.
Then I went down on him.
Oh, nice.
Literally just ripped his clothes off and went down on him.
Sweet.
I started getting some
Vixen
penis.
came over to me.
Yeah.
So I went down on her. This is like the Hopper service, this is, how we travel these days. This is how we
Yeah.
repay people for the car journey.
There's no
fuel
petrol
costs.
money.
Yeah, there's no petrol money from us. So we do that. And literally, we Stag and I bend both of you over the sofa.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like really quick fucking.
Fast and furious.
Fast and furious. This is like, let's do this.
An urgent need
Yeah.
to have sex.
Yeah, let's go to
Because everyone
Pantown
was
for
very-
2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Fun times.
Wound up, I think.
Exactly. That was really hot, really sexy.
It really
because
was.
we'd had all these chats, all this, and we knew that we weren't going to see him again for a while. So it was really, really
it was
sexy.
Really, really hot.
Moment we finish, there's a knock on their door and their neighbours have shown up. So fortunately, their curtains are drawn, so they can't see in. And Stag is kind of like, shit. So he chucks on some clothes and goes down to the door whilst I'm racing around clearing up condoms and wipes and stuff and chucking on
I
clothes.
was just standing around laughing.
Yeah, you're just stood there naked in their front room, just like laughing like a maniac.
I just couldn't stop laughing.
So then he managed to get rid of the neighbours, which was marvellous.
Yeah.
But it was a really nice little
I know.
bookend or coda or whatever you want to call it to the it was like such a hot, sexy moment. It was like bang, done.
Yeah.
And then we were on our way home. And then we got through the door and they were like bang and done. And that, I think, pretty much concludes what we wanted to cover, really.
That was the end of that.
Yeah. So the learning from this particular bit at the back is make sure your front room windows are shut and your curtains are drawn, and that you've got people in cleanup crew afterwards, I think.